Welcome to this step-by-step guide to the 4v1 Rondo, also known as 4v1 Keepaway. Let's get straight into it. First, you need to set up the exercise. You can adjust the size of the space depending on the age and level of your players, but a good starting point is a 5-yard square. 5 meters is roughly the same, so consider meters and yards the same thing for the purposes of this video. Use 4 cones or bibs to set up the square. Bibs tend to be better as they don't get in the way of the ball, but cones are also fine. Then set up your 5 players with 1 on each side of the square and 1 in the middle. This is a straightforward exercise where the 4 players on the outside try to keep possession while the middle player tries to touch or intercept the ball. You can decide whether the middle player has to actually intercept and control the ball or whether they just need to touch it in order to then switch with an outside player. Although the exercise looks basic, there is so much you can do in terms of manipulating the space, rules, and number of touches players are allowed. This really is one of the best exercises for developing the first touch, decision making, and passing quality of your players. This is a 7-yard square, which is noticeably bigger than the 5-yard option. By making the space bigger, players have more time and less pressure. They also need to pass the ball firmer, and so you can use this option for the purpose of encouraging firmer passes. Because the middle player might struggle to get the ball, you can limit their time in the middle, say 15 to 20 seconds maximum. For very young players or beginners, don't place any touch restrictions on them to begin with, as in how many times they are allowed to touch the ball. For all other levels and ages, a good place to start is with a 2-touch restriction. This means players can take up to 2 touches, giving them chance to either pass immediately with their first touch or control the ball and then pass with their second touch. This helps to develop player decision making as they need to be thinking about where they are going to pass, either before they receive the ball or while they are taking their first touch. Notice how the players are mostly receiving the ball with their back foot. That's the foot which is furthest away from the player who is passing the ball. By receiving with the back foot, the player keeps the ball slightly further away from the middle player, but also crucially, they open up their body so they have multiple options in terms of their next pass. If players receive the ball with their foot closest to the player who just passed it, as you see here, they can get trapped with only a return pass to the same player as an option. The player in the middle then intercepts. To give your players more challenge, you can introduce a 2-touch mandatory option, which means they must control the ball before passing it, thereby taking 2 touches every time. This forces the players to pass the ball a bit quicker and firmer, so that the receiving player has time to control and then pass the ball before being closed down by the middle player. The next step up or challenge is a limitation to just 1 touch. This requires very quick thinking, along with good body positioning and an understanding of weight and speed of pass. Ultimately, the 4v1 Rondo is a hugely beneficial exercise for all levels of players and teams. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe.